Hi world, it's Keely and I'm back for another video. This is going to be my February TBR. Now for February, I don't know how many months I'm going to do it this way, but for February what I wanted to do was really only talk about the books that are for specific challenges and then kind of leave it up to my mood to read anything else. Now that's not necessarily any different from how I do it every month when I do a TBR, but what I did for January was I gave you a much bigger stack of books that I was hoping to get to, and then now what's happening is I know I'm a mood reader. I have been able to mark off a handful of them, but there's a lot that I didn't get to, and then I feel pressure to then get to those books the next month, and so I feel like I can never catch up. It's just how my brain is kind of functioning when it comes to TBRs. So for this one, I thought I'd try to rein it in a little bit and really only talk about the specific reading challenges and prompts that I know I would like to complete, and then give you a couple other ones that I am taking on vacation with me, because by the time you see this video, I am already back from vacation. But as of right now, I am not on vacation yet, and I am trying to come up with the books that I'm going to take with me. Let's get into the books that I know I would like to read. For 12 months of Blackoween, hosted by Bree over at Locked Booktition, the book that I will be reading is Immortal Dark by Tejas Gurma. This one is for the prompt, has to have immortal, I think, either in the title or like the character is immortal. So I will be reading this one. This is the first in I think it's only a duology. The second book, Eternal Ruin, is already out. So I am really hoping that I enjoy this one. I did start reading it when I first got it, and I got up to page 95, which is pretty far, but honestly, I haven't picked it up in weeks, and I don't know that I will necessarily remember anything from it, so I might just restart it. This one, I don't know if it's a YA, I think it might be, but it's about orphaned heiress Kidan Adane, who grew up far from the arcane society of vampires she was born into, where human bloodlines gain power through vampire companionship. When her sister June disappears, Kidan is convinced a vampire stole her, the very vampire bound to their family, the cruel yet captivating Sesenyos Sagad. To find June, Kidan must infiltrate the elite Uxley University, where she must survive living with Sesenyos, even as he does everything he can to drive her away. It doesn't matter that his wickedness tempts Kidan to surrender to a life of darkness. She must find her sister and kill him at all costs. I was really enjoying it, and then I just got distracted by a billion other books, but this one fits the prompt for February, so I would really like to get this one read. Then for TBR Spin, this past weekend, Sarah had the live show for February where she spun the wheel again and picked another prompt. The prompt for TBR Spin for February is to read from an author you've never read from before. Since I am using my 26 books to read in 2026 list to pull from, I decided to grab two from that list that fits both of these. The first one that I picked off of that list is The Prestige by Christopher Priest. I've never read from this author. I don't know what else they have written, but I have seen the movie. I saw it a long time ago, so I want to re-watch the movie after I read the book. It takes place in the 1800s, and there are two young magicians, and there's a seance, and something goes wrong, and I watched the movie in college, and I don't remember anything about it, so I'm very excited to get to this one. And then because it's February, I decided to pick another one that's on that list, and so I grabbed Gwen and Art Are Not in Love by Lex Croucher. This one is an Arthurian legend kind of retelling, but queer. It says it's been hundreds of years since King Arthur's reign. His descendant Arthur, a future lord and general gadabout, has been betrothed to Gwendolyn, the quick-witted, short-tempered princess of England since birth. The only thing they can agree on is that they despise each other. They're forced to spend the summer together at Camelot in the run-up to their nuptials, and within 24 hours, Gwen has discovered Arthur kissing a boy, and Arthur has gone digging for Gwen's childhood diary and found confessions of her crush on the kingdom's only lady knight, Bridget Leclerc. Realizing they might make better allies than enemies, they make a reluctant pact to cover for each other, and as things heat up at the annual royal tournament, Gwen is swept off her feet by her knight, and Arthur takes an interest in Gwen's royal brother. I just think it's going to be super duper fun. I really love Arthurian legend retellings. I love queer stories, so I'm very excited for that one. Then for February, the prompt for the Read Good challenge from Ben is to read an Australian author. Now, originally I had James Islington on this list, but I'm not really in the mood for a super huge fantasy right now, and the only one that I own by him is The Shadow of What Was Lost, which is the first book in the Lacanius trilogy. That would be a reread for me, and I do need to reread it at some point and finish the trilogy. I'm hoping to do that this year, but right now I'm just not in the mood for it. Instead, I found an author that writes literary fiction that's kind of large in scope, that covers oppression and colonialism and all kinds of things in Australian history. And this author is Shankari Chandran, and the only book by her that my library has is Song of the Sun God. I don't know a ton about it, but I have a hold on it so that I can read that one for February, and that will count towards my prompt for the Read Good challenge, and then also for the diversity bingo. There's a prompt for every continent, and so Australia will be checked off, which will be pretty cool. The next book that I have to read is the final specific one for a monthly read, and this is Sydney's Nightcrawler book club through her Patreon. The pick for February is Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. Now, I haven't read the November book or the January book. The one that I just read from her was for October, and that was A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I read that one. The one for November is on my list to read in January still, if I can, and that's One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. And then the book for January is The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow, which is the only Alex E. Harrow book that I have left to read. I have a hold on it on my library. I've had that hold for weeks, and even though my library has like 70 copies, I'm number like 260 or something on the holds list. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that book, but I'm going to leave it there, and when it ever shows up, I will just go back to it and read that one. Catabasis, though, I do have an ebook copy. It dropped to like $1.99 a couple months ago on Kindle, and I snatched it up, so I do have that. And then the final one that I have picked out that will be an ebook is from the library as well. This one is the third and I believe final book in this universe from Megan Bannon. This one is, what's it called? The Undercutting of Rosie and Adam. I read The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon when we went to the place that we're going for vacation and stayed in the exact same hotel years ago. And since the third book is coming out and we're going back to this place and staying in the same hotel again, I was like, oh my god, it will be perfect if I bring the third book in this trilogy and read it on vacation. So I'm hoping that no one will check that book out before I get a chance to take it on vacation, because we still have a little bit of time before we leave, but I'm hoping that that one can be one that I'm bringing with. Now, the only other book that I absolutely know I'm reading through February because it's massive is this one, The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois by Honoré Fanon Jeffers. And this one I talked about in my book haul and in my currently reading. I am 20 pages into it. I'm hoping to pick it up again today and get more read. I'm doing very much like a slow read of this one, so I'm perfectly fine knowing that it's going to take me a long time to get through because it is almost 800 pages. So I'm perfectly fine with that, plus because I would also like to get a copy of W.E.B. Du Bois' writing and read that along with this for more historical context. I know it's going to take forever. I'm doing some other kind of major reading challenges. I'm trying to finish or like slow read through a handful of authors' backlog. I would love to pick up another Octavia Butler in February. I read one in January. I finished Wild Seed, which is the first in the Patterness series. I've heard the second book is really good. I think it's called Mind of My Mind. So I might pick that one up, but I'm not sure. I'll have to see which books I have on my Kindle already or which ones are available from the library. And then I'm doing my James Baldwin slow read. And I know that once I finish Go Tell It on the Mountain, I want to read Notes of a Native Son. But as I was doing more research, I realized that Notes of a Native Son is referencing a book called Native Son by Richard Wright, which is also a Black classic that has a lot of like conversation around it. And so now I'm like, well, I don't know how I want to do this. Like, I know I'm reading James Baldwin's works. I know I'm reading books about him. Should I read the books that he is also referencing or responding to? I feel like I should. So I might be picking that one up instead and then going to Notes of a Native Son, which is the essay collection. Or maybe I'll read the essay collection but save that particular essay until I can read the book. Or maybe I'll just read the essay collection and then read the book. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet. But as I've been doing a lot of research into Black classics and civil rights movement and the Harlem Renaissance and stuff, I'm getting just more and more books in my head that I want to read. So I'm not really sure where I'm gonna go next. That's the list of books that I am really going to try to complete in February. And anything beyond that is great. Even if I have like an incredibly slow reading month and I only finish one book in February, I will still be satisfied with that, because in January I finished a lot of books and I'm hoping to finish even more before the month is over. Let me know what books you are planning to read in February. Are you doing any challenges? And so you have like prompts that you're doing. That's it. Hope to catch you in the next one. Bye.